So I remember very vividly halfway through freshman year being home for winter break and being up late at night watching David Letterman, who was new to late night TV back then, dating myself, and flipping through the course catalog looking for what else I might major in, that might catch my interest. And I found two things that looked interesting. One was psychology, and the other was geology. And geology caught my eye because I could take all the chemistry courses I wanted to take. They'd all count, and I didn't have to take any of the chemistry courses that I didn't want to take. They wouldn't count. And reading the description, it talked about these big picture connections about the history of the Earth and future of life on Earth. And I thought, well, this is kind of cool. This is much more expansive. This is kind of like that science fiction stuff I used to read about, and not quite the same as what's in the chemistry department brochures. So I took two courses that second semester freshman year. Well, I took four of it, but two courses in particular. I took an introductory geology course, and I took an introductory psychology course. Oh, sorry, I took my first psychology course. It wasn't an introductory course. It was actually an advanced psychology course because there were no prerequisites. You could take whatever you want. So I took a social psychology course from one of the gurus of social psychology. And I enjoyed both courses. The geology course gave me my first exposure to doing anything in the field, and that was really neat. It was a field trip. It wasn't doing research. It was 80 people going out to New England field sites. But I'd never done anything like that for a class, a serious class. So that was neat and fun. And the psychology class involved a class research project that we had to dream up, and I came up with a social psychology research thing that I could do in the college radio station that I used to work in, and that was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed both classes. And in fact, I enjoyed the psychology class more, probably because it was a little more hands-on and experimental. But I was really, at the end of freshman year, I was torn what I should do. Should I stick with this chemistry thing? Should I switch to psychology? Should I switch to geology? And I remember having a discussion with my teaching assistant in psychology and explaining to him this dilemma and asking him for his advice. And he said, well, you should major in geology. And I said, why? I said, you're a psychologist, and I'm enjoying the psychology class. Why should I major in geology? He said, well, he said, you can major in anything and go on to psychology graduate school. So do the geology, and if you don't like it, you can always go into psychology later. But if you do like it, you can continue on with the geoscience. So I thought, that's interesting advice. So I ended up majoring in geology and chemistry. I did a double major, and I've been in that realm of geology and chemistry, the mixture of the two, ever since, and fell in love with as I expected, with the big picture aspect of it. And so here we are at Shark Bay, trying to understand the history of life on Earth. That's pretty cool.